More excitement here in the Cover Killer Nation camp. I almost said champ. Champ is here. Anyways, Cover Killer Nation, it is time for a track review. Why is it time for a track review? Because there is a song that is leaked from the upcoming Overkill album, which is due out at the last part of the March month, the month that is upcoming. The month that is going to include Music Madness. The Overkill track is called Electric Rattlesnake. It's off of the Electric Age. There's a lot of electricity centering around this album, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box. That way you guys can listen to it for yourself. It's something that's right now available on the Cover Killer Nation Facebook page, so if you're not someone who liked it, go like it. It's also on my personal Facebook and stuff like that. This is something I'm going to be spreading around a lot because I was really excited whenever I saw this was posted to me. And the minute that I listened to this track, ladies and gentlemen, well, let me just tell you right now how I feel about it. This is a song that really has me pumped about this album. This is obviously going to be a very good review, you can tell. And the reason why it has me pumped is because there's a lot of merging of the minds here. You know, with Ironbound, their last album that came out a couple years back, a real thrashterpiece that really gave thrash a real great name. It just really was something that grabbed you by the balls and just took you on this thrill ride throughout its entire duration. That was something that it was a real highlight for the thrash genre and really for the metal genre period for the year. And it just, this is a band that age really does not seem to touch. And the reason why I say that is because they've been doing this since the early part of the 1980s. And there's really not been that much of a low point to this band's career during any real part of these past couple of decades that they have been doing this. Now, some people may disagree. Some people may say that some of the 90s material was lackluster whenever they were kind of going through a whirlwind of personnel changes and lineup changes. However, I've still been able to find something viable off of each and every record that these guys have put out. And it just seems like in the 2000s and moving into 2010, these guys are consistently writing albums that just keep getting better. And this is one of those bands that it's not something you can say that about very often. And what's really ridiculous is the fact that these guys are still, after all this time, ridiculously underrated. Now, let's finally get to the track. The track itself is roughly about 5 minutes in length. It's only a leaked portion of it. I don't know if this is going to be something where there might be something after it, because there's an outro to it right near the end of it that seems like it could go to something else if they really so desire to do that. But who are we to judge? This is still something that's a month off, so maybe this is just a portion. Maybe this is going to be a 6-7 minute long song. Who knows? But from what we hear, from what you can hear on this track, definitely a merging of the minds of the 1980s style of Overkill mixed with this new 2012 incantation and what we've seen in the years prior. The reason why I say that is because you hear thrash riffing that's very reminiscent to the 1980s, which is something that they've incorporated in many of their tracks going into the 90s and the last decade. However, this is something that almost seems as though they are blatantly turning back the clock and really making it revitalize that old school sound. And I really like that. It's something that a lot of these new wave of thrash metal bands here in America are kind of striving for a little bit, but sometimes it gets mired by the overproduction. But that's not something that's any fault of theirs. It's just a new age. It's a new age. The Electric Age that Overkill is talking about seems like it's going to be a real sonic turn back the clock, where they're going to be incorporating that old school style, only with a new school edge, but still retain an old style philosophy of we're here and we're here to kick your fucking ass. Electric Rattlesnake is something that grips you. It's something that from the moment that it starts, you know it's an Overkill song. But at the same time, from the minute that it really starts to thrust itself into its chorus, whenever it thrusts itself into its first guitar solo, whenever it thrusts itself into that haunting little bridge that it has near the ending part of this track, it's just something that just is awesome. You know, it's a complete track. It's something that definitely has a little bit of something for everybody. A lot of Overkill fans are going to enjoy this song because it has a very nice balance. It's something where they're able to incorporate their quicker, their thrashy side, but at the same time, near that end, they do slow it down a little bit and show the fact that they have some rhythm, they have some dynamisty. There's a lot more to this band than just pure, unadulterated speed. But don't get me wrong, I can guarantee you that on this album, there are going to be some tracks that are going to be all about pure, unadulterated speed. If Ironbound is any indication of where this band is going, that means that the Electric Age, whenever it comes out the latter part of next month, is definitely something that should be on your must-buy list, ladies and gentlemen. And if Electric Rattlesnake is any indication of what this album is going to be like, that only seconds that opinion. It's almost as though you went to a second doctor and he said the exact same thing, only said it in a way that made it sound fucking awesome. Yeah, this is a great track. This is going to be a great album. I'm stoked. Are you stoked? You better be stoked. Electric Age, Overkill, coming in the latter part of March. Check out the track for yourselves. You won't regret it.